Hey guys, I am back like promised. So these are going to be my tips and my tricks for traveling in New York City. I'm going to start with a few basic, you're traveling anywhere kind of tips. One, tip number uno. I cannot stress this enough. Pack light. I don't mean, go on the very, very, very bare minimum, like one shirt for the entire trip. I'm talking reasonable. Our trip was originally, I'm going to say originally because the fifth day was not planned. It was originally 3 nights, 4 days. So, I could have gotten away with like 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants. Which, I'm going to be honest, I did only bring 1 pair of jeans, and they ripped halfway through the trip. We ended up at Kmart at like 9 o'clock at night to get me a new pair of pants that didn't fit. Don't ask me how. It's a long story. So yes, pack light. Me and my best friend shared a carry-on and a checked luggage, and then our 2 personal bags. Our checked luggage ended up being about 35 to 40 pounds when we went to New York. It was about 50 by the time we left, because one thing that you will learn about me is I love souvenirs. Sorry, my dog is chewing my backpack. Yes, I love souvenirs. I cannot get enough of them, which is why this Europe trip is going to be so difficult for me. Unless I mail everything back, which I might, because, again, I love souvenirs. So yes, our bag by the end of our trip was about 50 pounds. It was the very maximum that American would let us check without exorbitant fees. And then our carry-on wasn't much lighter, but it still fit within our allotted weight for American Airlines. So yes, pack light. I will go into detail about the backpack that I am taking for my Europe trip, which I already have, which will be fantastic. So yes, pack light. Another thing is wear comfortable clothing. As much as, you want to dress for comfort. You don't want to be miserable. Like if you know that you're going to have to walk or commute to that club or bar, don't wear the heels, girls. And I'm speaking from experience right now. Don't wear the heels. We stayed at Hotel Penn. We went to the bar across the street from Hotel Penn. By the time we were walking back, we were only at the bar for like maybe 2-3 hours max. By the time we were walking back, I wanted to toss my shoes in the dump, like in a public trash can. I was so done with them because heels are not comfortable if you're doing a lot of walking. Especially those really nice heels that you want to wear to the clubs. Yeah. Switch them out for a nice pair of flats or like wedges, but not the stilettos, not like the ankle boots with the actual, like the stiletto heels. Maybe try the ankle boots with the wedge heels. I don't know. But wear comfortable shoes no matter what. If you're going to be walking around all day, opt for good walking shoes or tennis shoes instead of your sandals. We went to New York when it was cold out, so we didn't have to worry about sweating or chafing, but I will say I personally love wearing compression shorts underneath my pants, no matter what the weather, if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of walking, because thick thighs. And then another big thing, no matter where you go, dress for the weather. There's nothing quite like, and this is an actual experience, nothing quite like leaving your hotel. It's warm out. It's not too bad. You go to the Empire State Building. It's very windy up there. You're kind of cold. You come back down. The temperature has dropped like 5 degrees, 5 to 10 degrees. And you have stuff planned out for the day. Pre-bought tickets or pre-arranged tickets for certain time slots, so you don't have time to walk the 30 minutes back to the hotel to go get your jacket. It's very, very difficult to find a reasonably priced jacket or sweatshirt in New York City because it is a tourist location. So, yes. Make sure you're leaving your hotel, your hostel, your Airbnb, whatever place you're couch surfing, with clothes that'll keep you comfortable all day. Not to mention, we opted to wear jackets on the coldest day that we were in New York. And that also happened to be the day that we did a walking tour. Yeah. It was cold, and I was miserable. And here comes my dog. Yep, there she is. Hi. Stop! Ah! Yes, I was very miserable that day. So yes. So, now on to my tricks and tips specifically for New York City. Number 1, the airport shuttle bus is fantastic. I'm not joking. So we flew into LaGuardia, which does not have subway access unlike JFK. So we had a few different options. We could take a taxi and pay a lot. We could take an Uber or a Lyft and pay a lot. So we exited our terminal, we went to baggage claim, we got our bags, we saw a sign. 10% off when you order through the app. Yep. We ended up paying $27 a person. That included our baggage. If you have more than one carry-on, one checked, and one personal bag per person, it's a little bit more expensive, but since we fell into that range, since we were sharing bags, it was not a problem. We ended up buying it through New York City Express Bus. They pick up from LaGuardia, or they pick up and drop off from LaGuardia, JFK, and Newark. So the 3 big airports that service New York City, and the 2 major travel hubs of Grand Central Station and the Port Authority Bus Terminal. I am not sure if they still have the discount going if you order through the app, but it is worth checking out, especially if you're flying into LaGuardia that does not have subway access. The other thing, the subway. I say this about everything that I'm not joking, because we travel on a budget. So we try to save as much money as possible. Our saving grace, again, I'm not joking, if there's one thing that you do in New York City to get around, get a 7-day unlimited ride pass. It's $32 a person. The cost of a single ride, sorry, my dog's going crazy back there. The cost of a single ride is $275. And we knew that we were going to heavily rely on the subway to save money, so buying the unlimited pass is the smart option if you are traveling on a budget. For those of you who don't know, the subway itself spans the entirety of Manhattan Island, as far north as the Bronx and as far east as JFK. So it's a good option. The other thing that saved us a significant amount of money is buying a city pass. On my website and in the stories that I'm going to be posting on here, I will talk about the city pass a lot, very heavily, because it saved us so much money. No, we opted for the New York pass, and this specific pass services a lot of cities, including where we're going in Europe this upcoming spring, and we are taking that, that's what we're going to do. You can buy it the day of, you can start using it the day of, you don't have to buy it in advance, they don't run out, it's very nice. So the New York Pass has the options for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, or 10-day passes. It ranges from about $134 all the way up to $449 per person. We chose the 2-day pass, which was $179 per person, and they have sales frequently. We actually bought ours during sale time and I think we ended up saving like $20 to $30 a person. It's easy to use and it's very convenient. There's an app that you can download on your phone. You don't have to get it mailed to you. You have that option, but it does cost a fee, unfortunately. It is good for a year from the time of purchase, so if you do want to buy it in advance, it's fantastic. I know right now, because of Corona, they have extended that year to 2 years. So, yeah. And no, this video is not sponsored by any of the places I'm mentioning, unfortunately. If it was, I would totally sponsor the City Passes because they are fantastic. It's good. So, and the amount of days that you've bought it for, so ours was a 3-day pass. It begins the first time you actually scan it. So ours began our second full day, our first full day at 9:30 in the morning when we scanned our app at the Empire State Building. I will say, for some attractions, you do have to reserve your spot in advance. We did that for our Broadway bus tour, our Broadway walking tour, and our Hamilton walking tour. It does not begin the countdown until you actually use the pass for the first day. It just holds your spot, and that's that. There are 100 different options in New York City, and it's more or less completely unlimited, except you cannot use it twice at the same place unless otherwise specified. The big one is the Empire State Building. It does allow you 2 entries, 1 daytime entry and 1 nighttime entry. We saved over $80 a person, and that was like the low ball of trying to figure it out, by opting to use the pass instead of buying individual tickets for each attraction that we went to. The other thing, luggage storage. So for the New York trip, the luggage storage was one of the best things that we chose to do on our last day. Our last day involved just wrapping up a few things, seeing a couple more things, and storing our luggage. So, it's your last day in the city, you got some things that you want to do, you want to see, your flight isn't until like 8 p.m., but you don't want to have to lug that 50-pound suitcase through the subway because you can't get it through the turnstiles because it's so big. That was the option that we had. That's why I can't stress enough to pack lightly, because the subway is not luggage friendly. A lot of stairs, a lot of turnstiles. You take up a lot of room. We personally used Verto. Verto was very cheap. It was very affordable. There are a lot of other options. But you're able to store your bag at a reputable location. Ours was actually stored at a shoe repair shop on like a back street of New York City near Grand Central Station. It was one of those times where we weren't expecting to go to that area, and it was very interesting to see, this local store that's, making some extra money by storing people's bags. So yeah. I will say most hotels do offer the same service, but it can be pretty pricey. I know Verto, I think we only paid $10 for storing it for like 5 or 6 hours. So it was fantastic. I will say, looking into our Europe trip, some hostels offer the same service. I don't know if it's for a fee or not, but I will say in New York City, Verto is fantastic. And then, last but not least, be cautious in New York City. It is a big city. It's easy to get lost. It is also very easy to get scammed. The last thing that you want to do while traveling is lose your wallet, your phone, your money, your passport, any of that. So my big thing, and my best friend's big thing, is we carry backpacks, like day packs, around. I took 2 different backpacks to New York. The first one it's very small. It's just a small pink 2-strap, goes straight on the back. I'm saying this learning from experience, I do not suggest taking normal backstrapping backpacks to New York City or traveling anywhere for that matter. I'm actually investing in a shoulder strap bag so I can keep my stuff closer and more secure. But if all you have is a backloading backpack, here's a little tip. So this backpack has 3 compartments. 3, you say? It looks so small. Let me show you. I will say it's magnetized. It takes a little bit of force to get the magnets undone. So it, depending on how much I'm carrying, I might be able to recognize if somebody's trying to get in my bag. Not sure. That's why I do not suggest backloading backpacks. So the first compartment is this front zipper compartment. It's very small. Very easily accessible for both me and anybody trying to get into my bag. The second one is a drawstring. It's the main compartment. It's a little bit easier to realize if somebody's trying to get your bag when they're playing with your drawstring. But when I was carrying this bag, I carried all of my important stuff in this zippered compartment inside of the main compartment. It worked to hold my wallet. That was pretty much the only thing I put in there because I didn't have a lot with me because I'm a United States citizen. I did not need my passport for this trip. I bought this at Walmart for like $15. It works, but I'm probably not going to take this on any more big trips. It is officially being retired for my nights out. And then my other backpack. And this one has a story behind it. I've had this backpack for the past 11 years. So this backpack was actually bought as my 6th grade going into middle school backpack, and I've used it for everything. It has gone with me on pretty much every one of my trips. Got me through middle school, got me through high school, got me through a year at college, and it's currently getting me through paramedic school. So it is a JanSport. The sub-classification is the trans. I don't know if they make these anymore. I'm not gonna lie. This was bought at Walmart also. Sorry, my dog is trying to eat a pillow. I don't know why. So this one has 5 compartments. The first one is the spot to hold your water bottle. My bag is showing its age because my fingers just came through the mesh. So there's that. Then there's this very front pocket right here. Then there's another pocket right behind it. And then there is the larger, or the smaller part of the large compartment. So this front one, and then the big one in the back. It is set up like just a normal school backpack. So for this one, all of my important stuff, so my camera, and my wallet, ended up going in the very back section at the very bottom, and it was covered by my jackets when I wasn't wearing them, or my hat, or my scarf, or gloves. So there's that. I will say, if you are carrying a backpack, and this is, I learned this one specifically through this JanSport. I'm not sure about other backpacks, but I think most backpacks have the cloth tab that you can grab onto to help unzip or zip up your bag. I will say the one thing that we learned in New York is if you take it, if it's a dual little strappy thing, I'm sure there's a name for it, and as long as your other zipper has a hole, most of the time you'll be able to slip the tab through, and then you can tie it together. So that way you may recognize a little bit easier if somebody's trying to get into your bag if they are trying to untie the zipper. When you get on the bus or the subway, if you are carrying a backloading backpack or even a strap backpack, you're gonna look stupid, but I'd much rather wear my backpack on my chest than to have somebody steal my stuff. So that's another thing, because you can't always see what's happening behind you. It's very easy for somebody to take something out of your bag, especially on a crowded subway train. If you're carrying a purse, Don't carry it on one shoulder. Don't carry one with one of those very thin straps. Carry it across your shoulder, preferably with a thicker strap. They do make bags that are cut-proof because there have been problems with people cutting the strap of your purse and running off with it. I know my sister carries one of those whenever she travels. And then I will say, Times Square. And this is specifically for Times Square because it is, I'm pretty sure, the largest tourist attraction in New York. Don't stop near anybody selling anything. In Times Square, they have painted lines where they are allowed to sell stuff, or the costume people will take pictures. Don't stop near them. If you're going to take that picture, it can wait another 50 feet until you are away from them. Don't make eye contact with them. Walk with a purpose. Now, you may be like, well, that sounds a little bit harsh. You know, they're just trying to make some extra money. Story time. New York City, it's like our second or third day there. We decided to go to Times Square because we got some Broadway stuff going on and it's near Broadway. We stop at a small table so I can eat my pastry that I had gotten at Restaurant Row. But it's near those lines. Two dudes come walking up. Hey, do you want to buy some CDs? No, not really. It's pay what you can. So, us being a bit naive from Indiana, where you don't have to deal with people selling weird stuff on the streets, I give the guy like $2. He gives me a CD. My friend is like, all I have is a 20. Oh, I got change. Hands him the 20. He hands her the CD. I'll be back with your change. He never came back. She lost $20. We ended up throwing away the CDs. We don't even know if there was anything on them. But yeah. Yes. Another thing. You don't have an actual traditional camera with you. You have your phone. Snap, snap. You're taking those pictures, right? Once you're done taking those pictures, put it back into your bag. Put it back into your bag. Unless you are actively using your phone for something, put it back into your bag. Don't carry it in your hand. Don't carry it in your pocket unless you got, like, cargo pants. Because your phone can be snatched out of your hand or out of your back pocket very, very easily in New York. Or any crowded city. I do the same thing when I'm walking around in Indianapolis. Indianapolis isn't that big. My phone still goes into a very secure location. So those are my main tips and tricks for New York City. But there's one last one that I cannot stress enough. Have fun. Traveling can be scary. Traveling can be hectic. In upcoming videos, you'll get to hear some of those stories from my travels of it was crazy, it was hectic, and there were times where I did not have fun. But the thing is, it's not worth it to travel if you're not having fun, because you can be like, oh yeah, I went to New York City, and it wasn't... You're able to say, yeah, I went, but you have no good memories associated with it, because you didn't have fun. So, yes, be looking out for my stories on my New York trip, on my previous New York trip as well. That one's a fun one. My California trips, my Vegas trip, and then my upcoming Europe trip. I will give you guys some sneak peeks on that as well. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.